The monster has finally escaped the lab. For years, we've been told that a tablet is just a companion device, a secondary screen for your couch, a digital sketchbook, or a glorified Netflix machine. But Apple just shattered that glass ceiling with a sledgehammer. Welcome to the era of the M5 iPad Pro. This is not an incremental update. This is not a spec bump. This is a tectonic shift in the landscape of personal computing. We are looking at a machine that possesses more raw processing power than the top-tier MacBooks of just 2 years ago, squeezed into a frame thinner than a pencil. But here's the million-dollar question that has the entire tech world in a chokehold. Why? Why does a tablet need this much power? Is the M5 iPad Pro the ultimate creative weapon? Or has Apple finally built a Ferrari engine for a vehicle that's only allowed to drive in a parking lot? Today, we are going beyond the marketing fluff. We are stripping away the magical adjectives to see what the silicon beast actually does when pushed to the absolute limit. Stay with me, because by the time we finish this 30-minute breakdown, you'll realize that the M5 isn't just a tablet. It's a challenge. A challenge to developers, a challenge to Intel, and a challenge to your own creative boundaries. Let's start with the heart of the matter, the M5 chip itself. Built on a revolutionary 2-nanometer process, the M5 is a miracle of thermal efficiency. While the rest of the industry is struggling with heat and battery drain, Apple has managed to pack 12 CPU cores and a staggering 16-core GPU into this ultra-thin chassis. We are talking about a 40% jump in neural engine performance over the M4. Why does that matter to you? Because we are living in the age of artificial intelligence. The M5 isn't just calculating numbers, it's predicting your next move. Whether you're using cleanup in Photos, rendering complex 3D environments in Octane, or running local large language models, the M5 doesn't even break a sweat. It feels like the hardware is finally 10 steps ahead of the software. For the first time, the bottleneck isn't silicon, it's our own imagination. But power is nothing without a canvas. Enter the Tandem OLED Ultra Retina XDR display, now refined for the M5 generation. Apple didn't just give us a bright screen. They gave us a window into another dimension. With a peak brightness of 1600 nits and a contrast ratio that makes blacks look like infinite voids, this display is a colorist stream. But the real wow factor for the US market this year is the new Nanotexture Pro Glass option. In the past, nanotexture meant sacrificing a bit of sharpness for less glare. Not anymore. The M5's display maintains surgical precision while completely neutralizing the harsh fluorescent lights of a studio or the direct sunlight of a California afternoon. It feels like you're touching the pixels. It feels like the interface is painted directly onto the glass. Let's talk about the Pro in iPad Pro. For years, the American creative professional has had a love-hate relationship with iPadOS. We have the power of a jet engine, but the steering wheel of a bicycle. However, with the M5 launch, Apple has quietly introduced dynamic virtual memory swap that actually works. You can now have 16 gigabytes of RAM dedicated solely to a single app. This means Final Cut Pro on the iPad is no longer a light version. It's a monster. You can edit 8K ProRes RAW footage on a device you can carry in a manila